Elementary Music with Donna. I am Donna Rhodenizer. I started out by saying, how do you do? Because I have a hello song, a greeting song for you to use with your students as they arrive in the music room. And the words are, hello, hello, how do you do? This is a phrase that is very, very common in the adult world. How do you do? But maybe not so much in a child's world. So you might have to explain that a little bit. It's just a greeting that one gives to another person. I use my ukulele with this when I'm singing with the students, so I'll do that with you. Very simple. Hello, hello, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Hello, hello, how do you do? How are you today? And that's the song, body of the song, but this is a great greeting song because you can add names into this. And I know September or August or whenever you first arrive back in your classrooms is always a busy, busy time to reconnect with your kids and to get everybody's names in there. And so this is a wonderful tool. You were going to sing, if your name starts with the letter A, stand up. If your name starts with the letter A, stand up. Then all the students who have the letter A stand up, and then you give them an action to do. So you can pick whatever you want. I often start with turn, turn, turn around, turn, turn, turn around, turn, turn, turn around, and then you may sit down. Hello, hello, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Hello, hello, how do you do? How are you today? If your name starts with the letter B, stand up. And maybe you only have one letter B, so then I might do another letter so they have someone with them doing an action so they're not all by themselves. If your name starts with the letter C, stand up. Okay, now we've got Brad and we've got Charlize and let me see. If your name starts with the letter D, stand up. Oh, there's Dakota. What can we give Brad and Charlize and Dakota to do? Let me see. Stand on just one foot, stand on just one foot, stand on just one foot, and then you may sit down. Now, because they're not singing along with this is you singing to them and they're following your instructions. In this part, you can add whatever you want. You like, I sometimes say, wave your hand like you're a movie star and you're making $1 million and you're in a parade and everybody wants to see you and here you are waving your hand. Oh my goodness, look how famous you are. And then you may sit down. So there's lots and lots of options for giving instructions. You can also use, you can just use wave, wave, wave your hand, or you can do stamp, stamp, stamp your feet, or wiggle your toes inside your shoes. Lots and lots of things for the students to do. When I get to the very last people, I do wiggle your hands above your head and down by your feet and above your head and down and up 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 and freeze. And then you may sit down. So you've gotten through everybody's name individually, and then I say, now let's see if I can do this. I make a big deal, a big dramatic production of the fact that I'm getting ready. This is the big one. Are you ready? If your name starts with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, stand up. If your name starts with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, stand up. And then I do the wiggle your fingers above your head or behind your back or wherever I'm doing it with the speed up, and freeze, so that all get a chance to do that because that's the one they love the most. So wiggle your hands behind your back and in front of you and behind your back and in front and behind and in front, behind and in front and behind and 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 freeze. And then you may wiggle your fingers above your head, down your toes and up and down 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 and freeze. And then you may sit down. So I do a couple of fronts and backs and ups and downs and faster, slower, and freeze before they sit down. So someone will sit down before I say sit down, and then they have to stand back up again. So it gives a little bit of movement. If they have sat through all of the other people doing things, by the time you get to the end, they all need to move again. And so it's a good way to get them all involved. It's a great way to fasten names in your brain by letter. And as I get through the first couple of weeks of school, if I cannot remember a student's name, I say, oh, wait, don't tell me your name, but just tell me the first letter. And often I can get their names. So much so that I was in the grocery store, and the young man behind the scanner that's doing my grocery order for me said, do you remember me? Well, you were my music teacher. And I said, oh, what's the first letter of your name? And he told me, and I was able to pull out the name. I mean, if it's, you know, a letter that you've associated, you know, 20 names to, you might be able to find it. And he was very impressed that I knew who he was. If you had asked me point blank out, just right off the top of my head, what's his name, I couldn't have done it. So it is a great tool to help you as you are learning names in your classroom. This is a song I have done in my music classroom for over 30 years. I have no idea who wrote it, and I can't even remember. I think I've adapted the last part of it, but I can't even remember that. I went searching through every book I've got in my old textbook library here at my house, and I cannot find it anywhere. So if you know who wrote that song, I'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment below. And otherwise, when I write that out and put it in print, I have to say composer unknown, because I have no idea, but it is adapted. I do have a story, as I love to tell stories, as you might know. And I was in my music classroom, and the students were participating in the Hello, How Do You Do song. And I had a student tell me the first letter of her name was M, I think. And I said, oh, is it Maisie, or is it Miranda, or is it Melanie, or is it Myra? And I went through all the M names I could think of. No, that wasn't it. And I did not have my list with me. And so I didn't have any frame of reference. I was just pulling names out. And finally I said, okay, I just can't get what your name is. And she said, my name is Amanda. And I went, ah. Okay, so if they don't give you the correct first letter, then you cannot guess what their name is. When I've got kindergarten or primary, or a group of brand new students who I have never met before, often I will grab my class list and put it next to me on the floor. So when I'm going down through the names, if I say a letter and only one kid stands up for the letter B's, but I know that there's a Bryce and a Brandon and a Bianca, then I can say, oh, now wait, where's so-and-so, and then get them to stand up. Because your very young students may not know what the first letter of their name is, or they may be shy to tell you or to stand up. And if that happens, and if they don't want to stand up, even if you've figured out their name, I just let them sit for the first while. They'll get used to your routines, and when they're comfortable, you can get them to join in. And I don't force that issue early on in the school year. There is a greeting song for you with some name practice, which will be very helpful, and a little bit of action for the students, so it works well on a lot of different levels. I am always interested in hearing from you. If you have a comment or a question, please feel free to leave that in the section below this video, or you can contact me through email. Find that information at my elementarymusicwithdonna.com website page. And as always, I hope you are enjoying your days with your students, or preparing for your days with your students. Have a great day making music, and make music a great part of your day.